right, so I guess that didn't turn out as cool as I thought it would look, but that's okay. It's a great way to start the video. I hope you guys are doing good. Today we're gonna be looking at these Molotow Coversall water-based acrylic. Water-based. You know, when Tesla first came out with the Roadster, I mean, that thing was, I want to say about 100 grand for that car. And then, you know, as the new ones come out, obviously there are high-end Teslas still being made, but it's becoming more accessible for the average, you know, driver. So now you can get a Tesla for like, I think like 35 grand or something like that for a base model, which is a significant difference from what they were originally going for. So right now, this is the Tesla Roadster. It's about 12 bucks a can, which is pretty crazy to think about. But for a professional artist, you know, like say you're doing like a restaurant, you want to do some, you know, some large mural inside of a restaurant, and they want it to be, you know, done overnight so they can open the next day, and they don't want that lingering smell of spray paint. Well, this is what you're going to need to use. It lays down really nice, and it does feel a lot like the Molotow premium cans. But here's the thing, in cold weather, I did notice a slight color shift. You know what I mean? Like you had to kind of keep shaking it when it was cold out. Now this isn't unique for this one. I've experienced that with the Montana Montana water-based paints, and even the Iron Like Sugar. But I will tell you this, make sure you shake the hell out of this when you get it. The water-based paints really like to be shaken. A lot. Okay, they come stock with an orange dot, by the way. You can see an orange dot right there. They come stock with those. So let's check it out. So anyways, as you can see, I already kind of sprayed in just a quick little outline of my letters here. It says ACE, A-C-E. One thing I did notice is if you spray real close, I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me see if I can get closer here. This is common with like almost every water-based paint that I've ever used. They often kind of bubble like this. Now, obviously I'm kind of over-exaggerating with it. If you just paint normal, you're not gonna see that. It'll just go down pretty nicely. So that's not too big of a deal, but you just kind of have to keep in mind, if you're using a fat cap with it really closely, you're probably gonna run into some issues like that. But again, it's the nature of the water-based paint. So anyways, let's go ahead and fill it in. Now you may notice I'm not wearing a respirator, but that's one thing I really like about this. There's really no odor whatsoever. Still, you should wear a respirator. But I'm just kind of feeling it out just to see. And I'm not really smelling anything whatsoever. So if you're doing a job like this, this is really what you want to have. It's definitely the choice for a professional artist. Let's go ahead and fill this in. All right, cool. All right, so let's go ahead and let that dry. You may see a little bit of color shifting right here, but that's just the drying process. As it dries, it will look, some parts will look darker and some parts will look lighter, kind of like latex paint. You know, it'll dry a different color. So go ahead and let that dry. As you can see, we did get a little bit of bleed through here. That's very common for most spray paints, acrylic, water-based. It doesn't really matter. If you use a stain or marker, it's going to bleed through underneath. So that just comes with the territory. So wish these kids would stop tagging the dumpster. What do we do here? Why don't we add some of this? What's this right here? Now again, I'm using the orange dot. That's the stock tip that these come with, and it lays down pretty nice. It's actually a nice cap. Okay, so we have some grasshopper green. Not bad. I gotta say, for a light green, this grasshopper really lays down very thick. I mean, I would have no qualms using this as a fill-in color if I was doing fill-ins with it. I mean, it would actually do really, really nicely. Let's add some of this yellow in here. Let's do this. We'll do a little, oh, what yellow is this? This is cadmium yellow, cadmium yellow. I mean, it's not going to be as opaque as the other colors, you know, but for a light yellow, it's not bad at all. It's actually not bad. All right, let's see here. Now this is actually kind of interesting because I'm being really unfair to this paint. Like this dumpster has so many different things underneath it, so it may cause some cracking in some parts. But so far it's holding up pretty good. All right guys, so we don't have any black in stock, so I think I'm gonna opt for this hazelnut for the outline color. It may look kind of weird, but I kind of like weird color palettes, so, you know, we'll make it work. We'll see how it does. By the way, this is a Lego cap, so we'll see how it sprays here. It's actually not too shabby. This is like the Scooby-Doo color. You can see it actually covers very good. I mean, this is a really nice brown. Very nice coverage. Works really good with the Lego cap. All right, let's see here. Do a little bit of that right there. Now, again, you are seeing a little bit of color shift as it dries. So this part is right here, it's still dry, but this part is wet. But as it dries, it should meld together pretty well. If you do have any issues with that, what you can do is put a clear coat over it. It'll flatten everything really nicely. And you should probably clear coat it too if you're doing a job, you know? Especially like in a restaurant, because you know, people might get food on the wall that you're painting, and if they try to clean it with like a scrub brush, you may damage the finish. So put a clear coat over that, and you'll be good to go. Okay guys, let's do a quick little cut back. Let's just see what it looks like, because I'm kind of curious how clean it is. Oh yeah, very nice. That'll do it. We're going to be using fuchsia pink, which is very close. This may not come up on camera here, but it looks a lot like the Molotow premium version, so I think you guys will really appreciate it. Let's do a quick little halo here. Very nice. Something like that. Hey, third time's the charm. All right. All right, let's do some more cutbacks here real quick, just to make sure our halo is crispy on the inside, in case we missed something here. There you go. All right guys, so as you can see, it lays down really nice. There are some parts here that are still pretty wet. You can see right here, the paint layer is just where it starts to build up from doing cutbacks and stuff, or just where you lay down the paint a little bit heavier. So you'll see a bit of a color shift here. It looks like it's darker than the rest of it, but as it dries, it will get lighter. But it's kind of unnerving to look at when you're used to like the Molotow Premium, which dries very quickly. But that's just the nature of these water-based paints. It does take a while for them to dry, so keep that in mind. Anyways, we have some Nature White here, Nature White, and I'm gonna try doing some shines. See how they turn out. You are getting that kind of bubbly kind of thing going on there. So maybe a thinner tip might be a better choice if you're trying to do those hard line shines. Maybe not, I don't know. But I did notice that a little bit, so keep that in mind. All right, very good. You know, you just kind of get the slightest scent of resin. Just a little smell of resin is all I'm smelling here. So that's pretty impressive. I mean, you're not smelling the solvent or anything. Like, I'm not feeling any particular kind of way. If this is the future, I want to be a part of it, because I could paint with this every day and not feel anything. It's a fantastic paint for a professional artist. I think they'll really enjoy using it, but it's probably not going to be something that the average street writer is going to be picking up right now. That may change in the next couple years. You know, as you start paying for your equipment and R&D, things start to get a little bit less expensive, and you can pass that savings on to the consumer, because ultimately you want to take over the market. And I hope they come with this mindset with this paint, because the first person that brings us, like, you know, a $4 Euro can to the US, they're going to win the game. They are going to win the game. That's going to be the one who wins. As of now, we shall see who that is. But in the meantime, I gotta say, I really enjoyed using it, and hopefully we'll be getting more of it in. Hopefully we can bring that cost down, because I want you guys to be able to use it more, and hopefully we see more advancements in the future. Okay, so it's the next day, and I just want to come take a look at it and just kind of see how things look like now that everything is, you know, sealed and dried and ready to go. Now, first thing I want to notice is the color luminosity is fantastic. I mean, it's very, very bright. It's very vibrant. I noticed some of the bubbling. You know, we were talking about the bubbling yesterday. It all went away. One thing with some of the other lower quality water-based paints, it'll bubble and it'll kind of stay that way. This looks to have self-flattened out, which is pretty nice. So it's a self-flattening paint. And so that's pretty cool. You do see some of the stroke marks still, although almost most of them are pretty much gone, but it is more apparent in the brown. Now that may be my agitation, or it may just be how that brown lays down. It's really hard to say. Like I said, this is new technology, you know, and on the streets, you're probably not gonna use this on the streets because it's too expensive. You know, I totally get that. But for a professional artist who's doing a mural, this is still a fantastic paint. And you know what? I got some clear coat right now. And what I wanna do is just see if the clear coat will help flatten that out. And if that does end up being the case, then this will be a great opportunity for a professional muralist. So anyways, let's check it out. One thing I do want to mention is I'm using a red calligraphy cap right here. I swapped it out from the stock tip, which kind of looks like a New York outline. I don't remember if it is one. Actually, let me see if New York outlines come on these. I think they do, but sometimes my memory is just not quite there. Oh yeah, it's still the New York outline. I just have to make sure, because there are caps that look like New York outlines that aren't. So if you want New York outlines, go to Michael's. You know, when I was a kid, we used to rack caps all the time. And, you know, if you just went in there and racked the caps, like, they're gonna know you're racking caps, and then they're gonna put it behind a case. But if you go in there, you rack the cap, and you put the little red stock tip in there, then they won't know. Nobody will know the better, except for you. So anyways, let's see how this works. Let's check it out. Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, there you go. Wow, that's pretty nice. It actually really flattened out the color really well. I mean, it's weird because it flattens it, but at the same time, it brings the color out. The color's much more vibrant now, much more in your face. But the tone, it's nice and even and flat. You don't even see the stroke marks barely. It looks really, really good. So if you're doing a professional mural, just hit it with this Krylon crystal clear acrylic, and it's gonna make everything smooth as butter. And that's what we want to be, smooth as butter. So anyways, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and end this part of the video, but I did paint something with this paint a few months back when I was testing it. I didn't really care for how the video quality and the audio sounded in it. I shot it in log mode. I don't know, I was trying something out, but I don't think you can really use log with iMovie, and I just don't have the patience to learn a new video editing software right now. I just don't have the patience for that. Maybe next summer. So anyways, let's go ahead and check it out. I do like the piece though, and I use the same colors. So let's get cracking.
Give it to them.
What time is it? What time is it? What time is it? What time is it?
What are you supposed to do? Rock the house, y'all.
Stay tuned. Please stay tuned.
Take your body all way down. Call it fully rock it to the ground. Don't be running, roll it all around. Make one.